The Korean War. The Fight Across the 38th Peril. By Jeremy P. Maxwell. Digitally narrated in the voice of Edward Herrmann. Published by Amber Books and produced by Deep Zen. Introduction. War and imperialism did not magically commence with the outbreak of what the world has termed the Korean War in 1950. The Korean Peninsula had been no stranger to foreign invaders and had had a long history of conflict with its neighbors. China, Russia, and Japan all vied for influence in Korea. China and Russia shared a border with Korea, making incursions into Korea likely when each looked to flex its imperial might. The more recent attempts came from Japan towards the end of the 19th century, as it looked to assume its perceived place as the first modern great power in Asia. Using a major peasant rebellion in Korea against the Chinese, Japan instigated a war with China in 1894 and defeated it a year later. After another decade of imperial rivalry, Japan realized that vision when it dealt a resounding defeat to Tsarist Russian forces in the Russo-Japanese War of 1904 to 1905. This simultaneously stunned the world and caught the eye of U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt, who was fascinated by the fact that a yellow country had defeated a white one. This also marked the beginning of the Japanese Protectorate of Korea in 1905 and colony in 1910. Japanese domination. The Korean people suffered under a Japanese system that sought to replace their language and change their religion. For the first 10 years, Japan ruled directly through the military, and any Korean dissent was ruthlessly crushed. After a nationwide protest against Japanese colonialism that began on the 1st of March 1919, Japanese rule relaxed somewhat, allowing a limited degree of freedom of expression for Koreans. While Japanese control did benefit Korea in terms of industrialization and modernization, the Korean people suffered, especially in wartime mobilization for World War II. They were forced to work in Japanese factories and were sent as soldiers to the front. Tens of thousands of young Korean women were forced to become comfort women, effectively sexual slaves for Japanese soldiers. The Japanese also pressured Koreans to change their names to Japanese ones, an edict with which nearly 80% of Koreans complied. The Koreans had to endure life under the subjugation of the Japanese until the Allies defeated them at the close of World War II. In November 1943, the United States, Great Britain, and China issued the Cairo Declaration, setting goals for the post-war order. In it, they pledged to continue the war against Japan and to eject Japanese forces from all the territories they had conquered, including the Chinese territories, Korea, and the Pacific Islands. U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, FDR, looked to change the existing.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?